My wife cheated on me with her boss, and my daughters helped her hide it. For nearly 3 decades, I believed I had built a life others would envy. My wife, Laura, 49, and I, 50, had been married for 29 years. We had 2 beautiful daughters, Sophie, 26, and Emma, 24. They were our pride and joy. Over the years, I watched them grow from little girls into accomplished women. Through it all, I believed we were the perfect family. I loved Laura with all my heart. We faced the ups and downs of life together, raising children, managing financial struggles, and even overcoming health scares. Every challenge seemed to make us stronger, or so I thought. I truly believed Laura and I were partners, facing life side by side and growing old together as we had always dreamed. But last week, everything I thought I knew came crashing down. All those years, all those memories, they feel like a lie now. It started like any other day. Laura was getting ready for a girls' dinner with Sophie and Emma. They did this every few weeks, spending time together, laughing, and talking about life. It always made me happy to see them so close. I felt proud, like we had done something right as parents. But this time was different. While Laura was in the shower, her phone buzzed. I was sitting at the kitchen counter, reading the news and sipping my coffee when I heard it. I didn't think much of it at first. It was normal for her to get texts from the girls about their plans. I figured it was one of them confirming the time or location for dinner. So, I picked up her phone to check and let her know if one of the girls was running late. What I saw made my blood run cold. The message was from an unsaved number. It read, "I can't wait to see you tonight." I froze, staring at the screen, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. It didn't make any sense. My hands trembling, I opened the message thread. What I found shattered my world. It was Laura's boss. The conversation wasn't long, but it was enough to confirm my worst fear. They were meeting for dinner, but it wasn't a business meeting. It was personal. The messages were filled with flirtation and affection. He was excited to see her, and she felt the same. There was even a message from earlier in the week. In one of the messages, he had written, "I miss you. Once a week isn't enough." Laura had responded, "I miss you too." That was it. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. The reality of what I was seeing hit me like a freight train. My wife, my partner of almost 3 decades, was having an affair. How long had this been going on? How had I missed the signs? My mind raced with a million questions, but there was no time to process them. Laura came downstairs a few minutes later, dressed and ready for her girls' dinner. I couldn't confront her. Not yet. I needed more proof. I needed to be absolutely sure. So, I did something I'm not proud of. I turned on location sharing on her phone, pretending nothing was wrong. I handed her phone back and forced a smile. "Have a great night with the girls," I said, my voice barely masking the anger and devastation boiling inside me. She smiled, kissed me on the cheek, and walked out the door. The moment she left, I grabbed my phone and texted Sophie and Emma. I asked them what time they were meeting for dinner, hoping, praying, that they'd say something to clear up this nightmare. But what happened next shattered me even more. Both daughters texted back almost immediately, saying how excited they were for dinner and how they couldn't wait to see their mom. They were lying. My own daughters were lying to me, helping their mother cover up her affair. At that moment, my world fell apart. Not only had my wife betrayed me, but so had my daughters, the same girls I had raised, protected, and loved with all my heart. How could they do this? How could they lie to my face, knowing what their mother was doing behind my back? I felt sick, but I needed to see it with my own eyes. I waited for her phone's location to update. When it finally did, it showed she was at a restaurant, the same one we had visited countless times as a family. My heart pounded as I got in the car and drove there. When I arrived, I parked outside and scanned the windows. There she was, sitting at a table, but not with Sophie or Emma. She was with him, her boss. They were sitting across from each other, holding hands, laughing, completely unaware that I was watching them. It was like a nightmare. I couldn't believe my eyes. My hand shook as I pulled out my phone, took a few pictures of them together, and drove away. As I sat in the car, staring at the photos of my wife with another man, a wave of rage and heartbreak washed over me. Without thinking, I opened our family group chat and sent the photos with a simple message. "Glad you're enjoying girls' dinner together." Then, I turned off my phone and drove to my brother's house. I couldn't deal with the fallout. Not yet. I was too angry, too heartbroken. I didn't know what to say or how to confront any of them. So I did nothing. I spent the night at my brother's house, barely sleeping, replaying everything in my head. How could this be happening? How had my life come to this? The next morning, I finally turned my phone back on. It was flooded with notifications. Laura had called and texted dozens of times, leaving voicemails and trying to explain herself. I didn't listen to any of them. I couldn't. I was done. The marriage was over. There was nothing left to save. Emma, my youngest daughter, had also texted me nonstop. She sent over 50 messages apologizing, saying she never should have lied to me and that she hated herself for it. Emma was always the one closest to me, my little girl, my pride and joy. Now, she was involved in this mess, and I didn't know how to feel about her anymore. Her boyfriend even texted me, saying she was having a panic attack and begging me to call her. I didn't know what to do. I was angry, but I still loved her. She was my daughter, but her betrayal hurt more than I could ever put into words. I finally sent her a message, keeping it short. Emma, I love you, but what you've done has hurt me deeply. I need space. She replied almost immediately, apologizing again and saying she loved me. She told me she would never forgive herself. I didn't respond. Sophie, on the other hand, was different. She had always been closer to her mother. While we had a good relationship, she was definitely a mama's girl. Her message was short, almost detached, like she didn't truly feel bad about what she had done. She apologized, but then said something that made me furious. You shouldn't throw away a good marriage over one mistake. One mistake? I saw red. This wasn't just a mistake. This was a betrayal, not just from Laura, but from my entire family. I sent Sophie a message, telling her exactly how I felt. Sophie, this isn't a mistake. This is a betrayal from my whole family. Please don't contact me until I reach out first. She didn't respond, but I knew she showed the message to her mother shortly after. Laura started texting me, saying I shouldn't take my anger out on Sophie. I ignored her. I wasn't going to talk to Laura anymore unless it was through lawyers. I had already decided I was getting a divorce. There was no way I could stay married to her after what she had done. The next morning, I called a few lawyers and met with them throughout the day. I wanted the best representation I could get and made sure to meet with enough attorneys to prevent Laura from using any of them. After careful consideration, I chose the most aggressive lawyer I found. I was ready to fight. That was 5 days ago. I'm still staying with my brother. Every morning, I wake up and cry. Sometimes, it feels like I'll never stop crying. Other times, I'm so angry that I can't think straight. I don't know how to move forward or how to live in a world where my wife cheated on me and my daughters lied to me. Losing Laura is hard enough. I love her for almost 3 decades, and I thought she loved me too. But now I don't know what to believe. Was any of it real, or was she lying to me the whole time? I don't think I'll ever know the full truth. But the thing that hurts the most is my daughters. How do I ever look at them again? How do I forgive them for what they did? Sophie is supposed to get married in the fall. I've been paying for almost everything, but now I don't even think I can go. How can I stand there, pretending to be a proud father, when I know she was part of this betrayal? How can I walk her down the aisle, knowing she lied to my face and helped her mother cover up an affair? I don't think I can do it. I don't know what to do next. I feel like I've lost everything. The life I thought I had, the family I thought loved me. It's all gone. I'm lost, completely destroyed. I'm trying to take it one day at a time, but every day feels harder than the last. How do you move on from something like this? How do you ever trust anyone again?